What's up, Wikimaniacs? On today's episode, we have a wife who hired a PI on their husband, a grandkid who lost all their inheritance, an OP asking for an important relationship question about marriage, a routine prostate exam that took a turn, and a baby causes scene in the supermarket. Plus, the Amazing Underbakke closed the episode off with the segment of F, Mary, Yeet, baby. And for the patrons and YouTube members, we have a kid getting in trouble from quoting Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Head on over to patreon.com/cultivate. Oh shit, I messed that up. Patreon.com/cultivate podcast network to hear this story and ad-free episodes along with bonus stories and all other benefits. But don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this episode to help your boys grow. But Reddit on Wiki starts.
Get therapy.
I don't know how to read.
Get therapy.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? It's your boy, Punny Pinoy John, hosting another Monday Reddit reading episode. I am, of course, joined by the lovely fellas, Josh and Sean. What's up, bros?
What it do?
Hi.
We were just talking about playing NCAA 25, and I am hooked.
Same. I'm still in the 10-hour trial. I haven't put $1 into it
I'm
yet.
waiting until Thanksgiving for the sale.
It might be a while. It's a very popular game.
It's not going to be like Madden, where everything is on sale at Thanksgiving, Black Friday.
Maybe.
Not because Madden's ass.
Possibly. Madden's ass. But I've waited 14 years. Where's it 14 years? 11 years for this game to come out. So I'm like, the moment I said deluxe edition, fuck it. I usually hate EA, but I'm like, I got to do it. College football is freaking dope.
Yeah, it's fun. I'd never played a football game before this, and so this is my first dip into it, and it's very good, I gotta say.
Army triple option, Josh. You gotta try it sometime.
I'll give it a go.
It's good times, baby. Awesome. Well, we got a packed episode today. 5 stories. And anything else before we get started, boys? Or we're ready to hop into it?
Live stream this Wednesday for patrons and
YouTube members.
next week for our year.
We're announcing that already. So when technically this episode comes out, the 29th?
29th, yeah.
I would have announced it already. So
29?
if you're a patron, what was that?
No, I just said 29, like Schmidt.
Oh, 29? If you're a patron, you've got the announcement very early on. So get those stories. If you want personal stories submitted to us so we can read it over the live stream. So submit your stories. We'll read them over during our anniversary live stream. And maybe we'll plan something out. We'll do a little bit more in the future. And if you want to get those listeners submitted stories to us and, give us a chance to connect with our Wikimaniacs as well.
And then I think the only other thing is potential merch coming out in August. Right, Sean?
Right, John?
I'm working on that.
Okay, I wasn't
I'm
sure
working
it
on
was.
it. It'll be out by the end of it'll be up by August. Juliet's using the iPad right now, and I need it, but she's using it for school, so I can't say anything.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Can I design merch real quick?
Priorities, people, because I don't get paid much for here anymore.
But yeah, I think that's all the announcements finally. Sorry for cutting in so much.
Nah, you're good, bro. You're good. All right. Well, story number 1. This one is from r/relationship advice, cross-posted by Strawberry Bunny. I believe a goat at this point. The title is, I made the worst mistake of my life when I hired a PI 2 years ago and my husband recently found out. What can I do to save my marriage and family?
Did the PI find anything?
We shall see.
Let's get into it.
I, 27 female, have been married with my husband, 27 male, for 4 years and married for a little over 2. And we have a 16-month-old son. 2 years ago, very soon after our honeymoon, we found out 2 things. The first being that I was pregnant, and the second being that my best friend broke up with her fiance during our honeymoon since he cheated on her. She went spiraling and was convinced that my husband was also cheating on me. I never had any reason to suspect my husband, and I told her that she was projecting her own relationship onto mine and threatened to cut her off if she didn't stop. I gotta agree that the friend's definitely projecting.
Yeah, I mean, good so far. Yeah, it's wild for your friend. Like, you're just finishing your honeymoon, so you should be at the peak point of trust right now.
Yeah.
Yep. And in the process of, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah, hell
especially
yeah.
during honeymoon time, you know what I'm saying? She never stopped in being in the initial stage of my first pregnancy, and I was having a tough time thinking straight, and I ended up hiring a private investigator to look into my husband for a month, including an out-of-state business trip. The PI had zero evidence of my husband being unfaithful and assured me of my husband's fidelity. I immediately cut off my best friend, and ever since, I have regretted hiring the PI. I never told my husband since he literally did nothing wrong and gave me no reason to suspect him, and he doesn't deserve to feel that he did something wrong. I've been the most loving, affectionate, and caring wife I could be, and everything in our relationship has been great. I've fallen even deeper in love with him, seeing him become a father for the first time and how well he took care of me and showered me with love during and after the pregnancy. My husband and I both got new phones very soon after the PI's investigation, but he kept the old phones. Yesterday, we were talking about some old memories and pictures on our old phones. When he charged up my old phone and went to send the pictures to our current phones, he saw a contact he didn't recognize, and it was the PI.
Dun dun dun.
Ooh. He read the entire conversation and confronted me with it. I admitted and gave him full details of everything. I told him that my ex-best friend was in my ear, and combined with the pregnancy, I couldn't think straight and doubted him and hired a PI to clear my concerns. I profusely apologized to him and promised that he did nothing wrong and it was a result of my own insecurities. He didn't raise his voice or get angry. He just said, okay, and kissed our son and walked out the door. He came home 4 hours later, and when I asked where he went, he just said, don't worry, I wasn't fucking someone else. I know I hurt him by not talking to him about my insecurities 2 years ago and hiring a PI instead, and then hiding all of this from him. I honestly can't relate to how he feels, but I can understand how terrible it must feel to not feel trusted by the person you go to bed with every night. I tried apologizing to him and talking to him last night and this morning, but he has been ignoring me. He didn't hug or kiss me before we slept last night or before he went to work this morning. What can I do to fix this?
Oh man,
Time.
you're the asshole.
Yeah. I mean,
Ah.
honestly, if this happened to me, I probably wouldn't be that upset. I'd be like, you could have fucking talked to me first. I feel
Yeah.
like that's step one. I feel like huge invasion of privacy, but like,
Or told me 2 years ago after you did
After
it
you did
and
it?
regretted
Yeah.
it.
but I don't,
Like,
I honestly don't
ah.
think I'd be, is that weird that I wouldn't be like super upset about this?
Yeah, but you're like one of the most chill people I know.
Okay.
I'd
well,
be
that's-
upset. I'd be hot.
Man.
Yeah, as someone who's been cheated on, if I was accused of that, I would feel a certain type of way about it
I would too.
for a little bit, and then like if everything else in the relationship's fine, I would eventually come around and talk to my wife about it. But I would be hurt for a few days for sure.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
fair.
and I would definitely be hurt as well, just because, like, okay, I thought we were partners from the beginning, right? So if you had some insecurities, you're feeling some type of way, like what Josh is saying, talk to me first before hiring someone else. Like,
For
I would have
sure.
been able to, be an ear to you and say, like, hey, my best friend's kind of projecting all her insecurities on me. Like, can you just ease my mind, like, off the bat? He probably would have done it immediately instead of, like,
Yeah,
kind of holding
Or-
that secret for 2 years.
or even like after she did it, felt regret, cut the friend off, and then was like, "Shit, I shouldn't have done that." Like,
Then I would have
even
been
if
like
she-
Sean. I would have been chill about it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, if she came to me then and was like, "Hey, listen, I'm,
I've been in my
stressing
head.
about like the pregnancy. My friend was in my ear. Like, I did this just for peace of mind. I'm stupid. I shouldn't have done that. I knew you weren't doing anything. Like, then it's like, okay, you know what? It's okay. We can get through this. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. But keeping it for 2 years and never telling him, kind of shitty. That's kind of
Yeah.
shitty. And that's when I'm like, yeah, I would feel a certain type of way because then you still don't fully trust me enough with that information. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's only kind of been like, also, it sounds like it's only been a day since the incident happened.
Yeah.
Give him some time
Yeah.
to process. It would have took me at least a week to be like, bro, don't talk to me for a week. Let me think
Yeah,
about this
yeah.
shit.
because I'm like any type of like argument or anything like that. Sometimes I just have to step away for a bit and like really process how I'm feeling before I reapproach a situation. So he could be the same way, and then like I don't know, couples therapy or something going forward would be good to just air it out in a controlled environment. So
if I was a wife in a situation, I'm like, hey, take all the time you need in the world. Again, I apologize like 1,000 times. If there's anything we can do together as a couple to like fix this so that way you can look at me the same way again, I'm all ears for it. So continue apologizing, wife, and give him some space. And it feels like you guys have a decent relationship. So when he has his bearings together, I think he'll come around and at least have that conversation with you.
Yeah. At least try and figure out what like can be done. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like give him time, apologize all you can, and then just like be like, whenever you're ready to talk about it, we can get a therapist, you know, blah, blah, blah. Try and find solutions. What are you going to say, Josh, before I cut you off? My bad.
I forget.
My bad. I will say this. I think almost my initial reaction, if this happened to me, I'd be more mad at myself that I'm like, damn, this guy followed me for a month. I didn't notice one thing off. Like, how bad is my perception, bro?
PIs are good.
They're good at their job. Plus, if you're not expecting someone to be following you around, like you're a regular person, you're not expecting people to be following you.
Yeah, that's true.
I get too distracted. If there's anything flashing, I'm like, ooh, what's that?
Man, that might make me paranoid, actually. Be like, how many people are watching me without me noticing?
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's probably one of the things he's trying to process right now as well. You know what I mean?
Truman Show type vibe.
All right. Well, let's get to the second story. This one is quite long and it can get pretty upsetting too. And there is a trigger warning for the story. If you guys don't want to hear it or Wikimaniacs don't want to hear it, the trigger warning is homophobia. So there's timestamps on the descriptions. Feel free to skip this story to the next one. The title of this, and this one is cross-posted from r/relationship advice by aggressive lower score volume 406. The title is My Daughter, Against My Advice, Decided to Come Out to My Wealthy, Bigoted Parents. They have now disowned her, and now I am being blamed. What can I do to fix this?
Cut off contact with your bigoted parents.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else there's to do.
Choose your kid.
All right. Again, trigger warning for this Wikimaniacs. There is going to be homophobia in this story, but the story goes as this. This is going to be long, but I need some real help here because I just don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. I'm 45 female, a single parent to 2 children, 17 male and 18 female, and the unfortunate daughter to 2 boomers, both 70s. The parents are the epitome of the white, wealthy boomer stereotype. They are entitled, racist, sexist, MAGA-brained bigots who abuse service workers for sport.
I was going to say, I can only imagine who they're voting for.
Yep. Sexist, MAGA-brained bigots who abuse service workers for sport and think that attending church on Sundays make them good Christian people. They're also stinking filthy rich due to them capitalizing on a series of business ventures in the 1970s/80s, plus generational wealth. So they're packing 7-figure bank accounts. What's that like?
Wonder where they got that wealth from.
Oh, I know. Well, from what they sounds like, they like to take advantage of people. So I can see where it's coming from.
Yep.
My entire life, my parents have held their money over my head as a tool in order to get me to do what they wanted. In my teens, I ended up rebelling and going no contact with them. But when I became pregnant by my late husband, he convinced me to give them a second chance and let them back into my life. Since we reconnected, they have never given me a dime for my own costs, and even after I lost my husband, they only ever helped pay off the house my husband and I had bought together. But this was purely to keep the roof over their grandkids' heads, not their daughters. In spite of that, though, they have truthfully been pretty good grandparents to my kids, and they have always known that they would fund them through college and that, on their passing, they were set to inherit millions. The issue began 4 months ago when my daughter came out to me. I was so proud of her, and that I had successfully fostered an environment where she felt safe enough to open up to me like this. I was so happy. Afterwards, she broached the topic of extending the news to her grandparents, and that's where my smile faded.
Just take the money. Just take the homophobes' money.
And what better way to spend all that is by living your best life on their dime.
Yeah.
The following is an abridged version of what I told her. I want you to be your true self, and I will never deny you that. But your grandparents come from a very different world to the one you and I occupy. If they learn that you're gay, it's not just they won't be able to understand you, they're going to actively punish you for it. Every day, the world is becoming more and more difficult just to exist in, and your generation are eventually going to be facing challenges that my generation will never have to deal with. I want you to be safe and secure as you go forward in life, but because your father is no longer here to help support us, I've not been able to do right by you financially the way I wish I could have. If you come out to grandma and grandpa though, you will not be their gay granddaughter. To them, you will just be another, and they use the F word for it. I'm not going to say it. They will cut you off. That will mean no more expensive gifts, no more car, no more free ride to college, no more private apartment, no inheritance, nothing. They will take everything.
What a shitty thing to do to your grandkids.
Seriously.
You think that would open their eyes to be like, oh, I love someone who's gay.
No.
It's okay. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
that's how they would take it.
I mean, did you see why Elon Musk is giving $45 million to Trump? It's because his daughter was born a son, and according to him, his son is dead, and he disowned his daughter for being trans.
Oh my God.
So that explains why he's such a fucking piece of shit and giving $45 million to Trump. So yeah,
Jesus.
there are people
Billions of reasons as to why Elon Musk is a piece of shit.
But I mean, like, their views, you know, it's in stone. It doesn't matter. You know,
Yeah.
context does not matter,
Doesn't matter.
ever.
Yeah.
doesn't
It's
change
just
them.
hatred in their hearts and their minds, and it's just fed to whoever that they
Yeah.
want, that they surround themselves with. But
Fuck them.
to continue with the story, I told her that I was by no means asking her to stay in a closet. She can still live her life as out and proud as she wants. Get a girlfriend, experiment sexually, but just do not advertise it on social media, and definitely not do it around my parents.
Or just block them.
Or block them altogether. Most like they're in their 70s. I don't know how technologically savvy they are. They might use Facebook.
My grandma gets hacked every other day. I swear to God, I get a new Facebook ad from another account. I'm like, God damn it, stop clicking things.
They always be giving away their social security to like
I know.
best people all the time.
I know.
My parents are old. They don't go out. They don't get out much anymore, and mostly just spend their time going back and forth between church, the store, and home, where they sit around reading conspiracies on Facebook.
Woo!
They're also not in good health, and I do not see them lasting more than 7 to 10 years. I told her that if she plays her cards right and lays low around them, she will never have to struggle the way so many of her friends are struggling, and that when the time comes, she can choose to bury them in a rainbow coffin if she wishes. I would have fucking done that. First of all, I wouldn't even fucking bury them at that point. I'm like, ashes, baby. At the time, she seemed sad, but she said that she understood, and we hugged it out. And that was that until it wasn't. My daughter has an online circle of queer friends that she speaks with daily through her Discord, and they have been filling ears with things like how she needs to come out to them, how by not embracing her identity fully, she still has one foot in the closet, that even if her grandparents react negatively, at least she'll be living her authentic self. Since she started bringing it up, I have been trying to drill into her just what a terrible idea this was, often and repeatedly, and I thought she was listening. Well, it happened. We had my parents over for dinner, and she decided to stand up in the middle of dessert and come out to them. She had this whole speech prepared about how she knows that they are from a different time, about how the world changes, and how they will have to learn to change too, but that she knows deep down that they will come to accept her in time. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion.
I was going to say, I could just see them twitching.
Oh my gosh. It's
I
like,
can just imagine.
It was like watching a car crash in slow motion. Only my daughter was in the driver's seat, and the brake was completely out of my reach. After she was finished, my parents just gathered their things and walked out. That was a month ago, and they have since disowned her completely. I hate that. Last
Crazy.
week, We received then news that they have written her out of out of their will. They have canceled the phone contract and taken back the car that was in their name. My daughter was set to inherit millions, and now she will be receiving nothing. She is currently preparing for college, and now she's facing the reality that she'll have to take out loans and get a job. Even if I anticipated this response from them, I am still thoroughly sickened, and I've cut them off once and for all. One of the last messages they sent to me was, "We worked hard for our money, and she won't be using it to fund her degenerate lifestyle."
Did you work hard for your money?
I don't
Because when
think
you're giving
so.
away millions, I think you had other people work hard for your money.
Yeah. You probably inherited it from like your equally terrible parents too.
Yeah,
so-
who were plantation owners, I can almost guarantee.
Yep. I completely agree. This was the little girl whose hand they once held in a park, whose little body they once carried on their shoulders. I feel sick. My daughter is inconsolable, but she has turned her anger against me. She is blaming me for this entire thing. That same face I made, Sean, when I was reading this. I'm like, wait
I
a
don't
minute.
know.
You're getting mad at the wrong person.
I kind of understand it because the mom was telling her to hide herself from her family, which is a pretty shitty thing to tell someone to do.
True.
But
But with the stipulations that she provided, it's not like she just did it saying like, hey, just don't come out. Like, hey, if you do, this is the consequences that are
I
just going to
think-
happen.
Right.
It's okay. I think it was okay for her to give her the speech and be like, "This will be the consequence of your action." I don't think
The
I
first
agree.
time.
Yeah,
It sounds like she did it a lot.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I agree with
Yeah.
Josh. Whenever
Gotcha.
she's like, "Oh man, well, I really want to say it," and then you're being like, "No, think of the money." At that point,
Yeah.
you can't fight her on it. If that's something she wants to do, that's what she wants to do.
You support her and be like, okay, I'll stand up with you during this speech that you want to do, and I'll back you. That's what you should do for your daughter.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fair.
So I understand her anger towards you. She probably expected it from her grandparents. You know what I mean?
She probably thought she could convince them otherwise.
but it's
Maybe,
it's weird to
maybe.
be mad now. You should have been mad earlier, you know. But again, I've never
Yeah.
been in this situation. I don't know what that's like.
I don't know. She's 18, right? So
I mean, everyone
True.
hates their parents around that age, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just saying I understand where the anger is probably coming from. Yeah, it's
As an adult, it's like,
ultimately.
I told you. I don't know what more I could have done.
Yeah.
No, it's fair. Fair. She is blaming me for this entire thing, and every day she alternates between raging and crying and raging again. Our home has become completely inhospitable. Things have been broken, and my son and I are walking on eggshells. This whole time, I have just been taking her shit. But last night, we had another confrontation, and she screamed at me that this was all my fault, and that I just wanted her to live in a closet her entire life, and that I had never supported her, and this time I just snapped.
Mhm.
I yelled back that I had warned her, and she chose not to listen. That her and her pack of stupid online friends, people who have never even met my parents, they all thought that they knew them better, and you decided to listen to them over that one person in this world who was actually raised by them. That I had advised her on the best investment she would ever make in her life, and she had blown it completely. Since then, she's been upstairs crying in her room, and I just don't know what to do. How the hell am I supposed to navigate this situation? What could I have done to protect her from this? Am I really at fault here? And what could I have done differently? There are some edits, but if you guys want to comment, we can do that, and then I'll read the edits afterwards.
Yeah, I think what I said is the thing you could have done differently was wholeheartedly support her against your bigoted parents. It seems like Sean said, the first time just being like, hey, listen, if you tell your grandparents, they're going to disown you. I guarantee it. So that's up to you. I'll support you. That's what you should have done. You should have just the first time. And then it sounded like every single time she wanted to come out to her grandparents, you like just were like, don't do it. Like stay in the closet basically. And so I get like, that's a shitty thing to tell your daughter to do. I get she's probably upset right now. I would be if I lost out on millions of dollars and my grandparents who were there my whole life because of who I am as a person. That's shitty. So she's going through it right now. You shouldn't snap at her because she's losing millions of dollars, her college sponsorship, her grandparents. It feels like her mom didn't fully support her. So I understand where she's coming from. It sounds like a lot of you all need therapy. God damn it. Please.
Not the grandparents. They're done. They're set in stone.
They need the most therapy, but they're not going to get it.
Yeah, speaking of stone, they'll be there in like about 10 years or so. They'll have a couple.
But like, what a crazy thing to be like, yeah, we just got to wait for your grandparents to die before you can be your true self. Like, that sucks. That sucks. So I don't know. I think you kind of suck and you should have made a few changes to support your daughter more.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I don't think she's. I think she's more dumb than. I mean, she sucks for sure. Because like after the first time, you already gave her the whole spiel. If she wants to go ahead and do it, you just got to support her in that case. But I also get, if I was my dad when I was 18, and the way I talk back, I'll fucking snap back too. I'm not going front. I'm not going to let almost an adult. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give it to you. You give it to me. But, you have to be the adult and know like, okay, I'm getting blamed. Not really my fault. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to fucking take it because like Josh said, her whole life changed. It's a very vulnerable time, I assume, whenever you're coming out of the closet to people you love. Especially when you get a negative reaction, you know what I mean? I can't imagine what that feels like to not be accepted for who you are. So, like, you kind of just got to take it, the rage, I mean, let things break.
Or take her to, like, family therapy or something like that, where you guys can air it out more respectfully and not, hopefully get to, like, talking normally instead of fighting all the time.
For sure.
That's another option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, you just got to be the adult in this situation. At the end of the day, when she's older, she's going to know it's not really your fault. So that's, this one thing of solace you could take. But also, like, you got to put yourself in her shoes. Like, okay, yeah, I could wait millions of dollars, but like 10 years? When you're 18, 10 years, that's more than half of your life. So, like, when you're in high school, one school year feels like a long time. 10 years? Yeah. You might as well just tell her you're never going to come out. So you have to understand where she's coming from when she's like, I just wanted to let it out. Of course she's mad about losing everything. But yeah, you just got to take it on the chin. Like Josh said, if family therapy is an option, I would do that. Also just tell her like, hey, no hands. You got to be best friends with your brother going forward. Anything he wants, you're his friend, no matter what. And then just hopefully when it comes time in 10 years, they'll be like, yeah, here's your half. Because, I mean, that would be my move. I'd be like, all right, you're my brother. This is fucked, right? So let's do what's right. You know what I'm saying? You would hope. How many millions do you need if we're both getting millions? How many millions do you need, brother? So hopefully that's the bright light at the end of this shitty situation.
There's a context in that later, Sean, on the edit. But to kind of go a little
My
bit
son
more,
is a raging homophobe, actually. So we're pretty fucking screwed.
I'm actually kind of in the middle of like in this scenario. Like, doesn't mom suck a little bit? There's parts of me that think so because it is at the end of the day, you're kind of telling your daughter to like, or your kid to not be their true self, right? But to me, the way I guess she kind of described the story. She said, don't be your true self, but with an asterisk. Like she was still saying like, do what you need to do, explore and do all that. Again, this is just my perspective. Obviously, I'm never been in this situation, so I don't really fully know. But, from an outsider looking in, this is my perspective.
Yeah, listen, if it's me, I'm just flying under the radar. I'm never talking to my grandparents until I get that million.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So, and I think she was speaking from like generational trauma, right? Like because
for sure.
She was cut off by them so early in her life. She got cut off by them when she was in her teens, right?
Yeah.
Never had any support, and the only reason why she even tolerates the having some sort of a relationship with her parents now is because she's with her grandchildren. And to me, like the intent is to secure her kids' future. So as shitty as it is, and yes, the whole accepting thing sucks. And, the grandparents are the ultimate villain in this scenario.
For sure.
Yeah.
I completely understand why the kid is upset, but I'm also understanding why the mom is telling her to do that. I'm like, hey, I've experienced it. I've never had any like support from them. I want you to like break that cycle, and I want you to have a set life because I struggled bringing you up because I've been a single mom this whole time, supporting you guys.
Sounds
by
like
myself.
still struggling.
Still. So that's to me, I'm like, yeah, it sucks, but I understand why she's doing what she's doing to tell her to do that. So that's why I'm kind of in the fence, fully going off on a mom. Just a little bit of edit, I guess, to kind of cap off the story. They put, thank you for everybody that commented so far. I also wanted to clear a few things up before I go because I just feel drained. One, I never once told my daughter that she can't be gay in public. She can get 6 girlfriends and walk around with one on a lead for all I care, so long as it's all consensual and she doesn't end up on the local news. I only ask that she keep it off social media, which her grandparents weren't a part of. Our grandparents were a part of. The reason my children's father isn't around is because he is dead. He was struck and killed by a drunk driver 10 years ago, and I have never remarried. I have already disowned my parents once and for all. Please stop telling me that I need to stand up to them and defend my daughter. I have already told them exactly what I think of them, and they don't care.
Right, but you asked what you should have done differently. That's what you should have done differently.
Yeah.
So it's good you cut them off. I'm just saying that's probably where the comments were coming from.
Yeah. My son will not be receiving my daughter's portion of the inheritance that has apparently already been allocated to go towards outside groups of my parents' choosing. As for what types, you can use your imagination.
Super PACs.
Probably the same shit.
That's like a
Elon Musk has been doing.
double fucking whammy, bro.
Yep.
That's
So
tough.
I do think that and lastly they put, I do think what my daughter did was foolish, unwise, and ultimately stupid in the context of the security of her future. An unpleasant part of parenthood that people rarely talk about is that sometimes your children will do and behave in ways that will make you dislike them. By lashing out, abusing her brother and I, and breaking things around the house, right now I do not like her. But I do love her, and that love is unconditional. I will never do to her what my parents did to me, and I will continue to support her through this, and maybe some way we can find a resolution. So that was kind of how they ended it.
The brother's like, why'd you say fuck me for? He's getting bullied.
It's like, damn, what the fuck? I ain't sharing you nothing. What the fuck?
You're getting $5 when I get my millions.
$5? I ain't getting you shit.
No, $5 is the insult.
The way my mind is just like, man, you could have just made like a Finsta and just not updated just use the Finsta. But then like, again, I haven't had to deal with 18 years of feeling like I have to hide a part of me either. You know what I mean? So it's like, after 18 years, you can only imagine you're just ready to like burst. Plus, all your friends that are going in similar situations are all saying like, oh my God, I feel so much better after everyone knows, and or whatever the discourse is among our Discord friends. But like, I get it being like, fuck the money. But it also is like, man, it's tough knowing that the money I would have got is now going towards things that, really fuck up
Possibly fuck
my
up what
future,
my lifestyle
and then
is.
like other people in my community's lifestyle. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, I just can't imagine what it feels like 18 years and then to be told like, just hold on 10 more years when you're 18 is like,
'cause like,
what do you mean 10 more years? That's
if
forever.
It's forever. Yeah. My entire college career plus my like first 5 years of working life. Like that's an eternity for a child. And on top of that, it's like, what if she gets a girlfriend, wants to bring her home to her family, like meet, like it just makes your life so much more complicated. It's always in the back of your mind, stressing you out. It's like
the way I'm so money hungry though. The way if I was the
I know.
brother,
I'm
Listen.
faking it till I make it, baby.
the way I would
That's
tell
what I'm
like, all right, son, you gotta just be the biggest raging homophobe to where they're like, all right, we gotta reallocate that money from the super PAC and give it to our grandson because he's gonna be the goddamn president. Just be, I don't know. I would collectively, when the three of you have healed, come up with like, what's a plan to fucking bamboozle them into giving you everything.
all of it.
You're gonna have to say some real unsavory things, kid.
Create an organization that's like ban LGBT from school and then allocate that money to support LGBT movement.
You could make a whole fake LLC and then just spam blast them. We're like, this organization is doing real good work. They're doing real good work. And then
Just
behind
drain
the
them of their
sines,
money.
yeah. They're
They call it
old.
one
I
like,
feel like they
peop-
can be
It would be,
deceived.
it wouldn't be hard.
What do you call it when like is it offshoring accounts or some shit like that when companies allocate their funds and send it elsewhere?
Some shit like that.
Just offshore your freaking inheritance to organizations that supports LGBTQ communities. But I don't know. This was like a tough situation. Of course, someone in the comments or like someone who has experienced this, maybe not in the same scale, but kind of like in a similar fashion, they might have better insights for us. I'm looking at it in a selfish perspective. I'm taking it back.
I'm mostly joking because I just have no idea what it would be.
Yeah,
like, 'cause,
like
same,
hiding
same.
something of yourself for 18 years.
yeah, it's easy to say right now, as even as like a joke. Like, millions of dollars would be nice, but I'm like, I don't know truly how I would react if I was in that.
Oh,
situation.
of course. Yeah, of course.
So.
And as always, we always encourage people to talk about it in the comments. Like we mentioned, we're only talking from our perspective. So if you have a better one and if you've experienced it, please let us know. More than happy to hear your story. But, it's always good to tell these, heavier stories sometimes because it is a reality for some people, and
Oh yeah.
and we were kind of talking about this offline a little bit too. And just kind of the state of like the world is going right now. And there's so many things that are uncertain and
Yeah.
more people are like this now, I'm talking about or like the grandparents.
I was gonna say, imagine most of the comments that have similar stories would be like, yeah, my grandparents are bigoted, racist, whatever, but they're also just broke, so I don't get anything either way.
Yeah.
Damn. Then cut them off. Be as
Yeah.
raging as you want. You ain't
Fuck
going to get
them.
shit from that. Fuck them. Make them upset. Let them
Yeah.
fucking die of a heart attack because they're so mad at you. Something.
Yeah, exactly.
Let them meet their maker earlier. So, I don't know. Do what you got to do. Awesome. All right. Well, we're moving on to the third story. And this one is cross-posted by one of Josh's goats. Hop into it.
Oh.
Oh.
Hell yeah. And this one is from r/marriage. The title is Do Women Lose Respect for Husbands Who Earn Less Than Them? This hits close to home.
For all of our sakes, we sure hope not. For all three of us, we sure fucking hope not.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably not, but
I'm about to go out after, take a break. Like, you still love me? You like me?
yes, I love you, John.
Oh, God. Oh,
Now go
man.
take the dogs for a walk.
Oh, they're happy about that, though. That's one
Oh,
thing. All right. Well, like I said, the title already. It goes as this. Newly married here. I am a commercial diver by profession, and inshore underwater work is a bit tough to find, especially at the start of your career. Those jobs are dangerous.
Yeah.
My wife is a corporate woman and makes more than I do. We married after 4 months of dating, and there was intense chemistry and romance and hormones and beating hearts, etc.
Woo.
Well, let's go. I know where you were diving, buddy. Let's go. My family met her, and they said that she will lose respect for you as this marriage continues. Pay gap was not that much, but my sister said that it does not matter. Once you are out of the honeymoon phase, her tone will change. This is the second year of our marriage, and we have had a few arguments that did not happen in the beginning. Part of me says this is normal in any relationship as long as we make up and become lovey-dovey again. Another part of me says that these arguments will become more frequent because of what my family had initially told me about women losing respect for men. I love her. I do not make as much, but I spend a lot of it on her and love doing that. My question is, do women lose respect for husbands who earn less than them?
Obviously,
Let's ask.
we
3
can't
dudes.
fucking answer this. I will say this. You guys got married 4 months after y'all started
Into it.
dating. So of course y'all are gonna fight about,
Yeah.
what can you even fight about in 4 months? I assume you guys are adults. So I guess when you're
Nothing.
in high school, you can argue a lot in 4 months. 4 months seems like a long time when you're young. But if you're
True.
an adult, honestly, in 4 months, me and Nancy didn't have arguments until we got married. And we dated for, 8 years before we got married. So it just happens with marriage.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're with them 24/7. You learn, everything about each other. So it's only natural, and it's just the thing that happens. I mean, I don't think there's anything inherent. I don't think it. Maybe some of it has to do with income, but that's probably just like the service level of what the real problem is, or something like that. Because again, we can't answer because we're not women, so we don't know. But I can imagine, the answer would be no. Because I don't know. There have been times where I make more money than Nancy, and times where she makes more money than me. We're always feeling like, we're trying to balance each other out. So it's like, I can't imagine, the times where she's making more. She's like, can you believe this fucking bitch ass fucking slumped out on the couch?
Yeah, go do your podcast again, Sean.
Go do your podcast.
I'm bringing in the bread.
Nobody listens to Shots of Thought, Sean. I'm like, I know. Fuck.
Shut up.
But yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine, like when you love somebody, like you should your partner, you know what I mean? Like that making a certain amount is not really like, you can't really be judged.
It's not a factor.
Yeah, it's more so like, all right, what are you doing to make sure our life is comfortable? Not really so much what your salary is. You can make $1 million and fucking blow it all on gambling. Does your salary matter then? You know what I mean? Because because you're not fucking taking care of shit. If you're taking care of shit, doesn't matter what the salary is. You know what I mean? So again, not a woman can't answer, but I just gotta imagine it's no.
Yeah, well, I think it doesn't matter whether you're a woman or male in this situation. It should be the same. It should be no. I love my partner for who they are, as long as they are like if they're not making as much money, but maybe they have more time on their hands. Maybe they're doing more of the housework or something like that. Like there's not enough information here to know whether it's like what the other issues could be. And yeah, like Sean said at the beginning of this. You've been dating for 4 months, got married, probably started living together. And that's when you learn a lot about your partner is when you move in with them. And there's going to be friction there at the beginning. Like everyone lives differently. And then when you come together, you have to kind of adapt and cohabitate with each other. So there's going to be a friction and arguments throughout your marriage. It's how you deal with them. I doubt this has anything to do with money. So
don't listen to your fucking weird ass family. They sound very stuck on their ways.
Maybe they don't like that you're a diver. I have no idea.
I mean, divers job. They get paid a lot.
Can make a lot of money
they
eventually.
Do.
Yeah, I feel like the more dangerous the job sometimes.
Like oil rig divers or anything.
Yeah, they get paid
like
a lot.
A fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I in my mind there is 0% chance this has anything to do with money.
Yeah. And I'm like kind of in the opposite end of Sean. Like Juliet and I dated for 4 months and then we got married and 10 years later we're fucking still kicking it and shit. And I could probably count a handful of times we've probably argued. It probably got to be less than 7 times we argued. Just we've been together for quite a bit.
Less than one a year. Nice.
Less than 1 year. And usually not. And a lot of it was very early on too. When I don't think we fought for quite some time now. But one of the things that we never really fought about was money. And there was a point in time where it was me that was making a little bit more, because she was, starting in her career, and then it flipped. She obviously paid her dues, went to school. Now she's making way more than I am, especially now that I don't have another full-time job anymore. So I've also kind of taken that to consideration where yes, it is nice to be able to kind of equate, the same compensation as your partner. It's good to grow your household. However, you can do other things to make sure your household runs smoothly, like what Josh and Sean were mentioning. So now that I'm doing this full time, okay, well, let me take on more of the workload around the house. So that way when it's weekends, we can just relax and just have fun, and then we can just spend more time together. Or that way when you get off work and you're done with school, you don't have to worry about stuff. Maybe the chores split is you're taking a little bit more, 60-40 or 70-30. There's more to it than money. Yes, money is nice and it's always going to be a constant problem in marriage, but don't let that be a problem. You can always make money, but you can never take the time back of you guys fucking fighting about shit that's unnecessary. So don't listen to people, because that's their own life. That's their own projections and insecurities that might be throwing your way. Work what works for your marriage. And you identify that with your partner. You set that up with your partner and work what's best for you guys. So if she makes more and that's a setup, perfect. If you can take a little bit more, perfect. So yes, we're not women. They might say like, okay, well, yeah, I'll lose respect to my partner if he makes significantly less than I am. But if for us, I feel like for us, we were speaking about it already. It's been working for our situation. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I agree. Also, if you really need to get couples therapy,
yes,
you could talk about it there. That's also, or a financial planner, whatever you guys need to figure this out.
Yeah.
I can imagine our haters listening to that last one and being like, I knew these guys didn't make money. I knew their wives were the real money makers. And
Bitch, I've been saying this story for like years. These shit changed.
These beta males.
You damn right.
House husbands.
All right. Well, moving on to the next story, and it's gonna be a back-to-back story from our GOAT.
Ooh.
Mary Gets 2011.
Wow.
Woo!
So we're gonna close it off lighthearted for the last two stories. This one is from Sean's favorite subreddit. Today I fucked up.
Love it.
Yeah, let's go.
So this one is titled "Today I fucked up by giving a prostate exam and smacking his ass after."
That's crazy.
Good game.
That's crazy. Cough? Good shit, pal.
GG's, baby.
Yeah, it's funny because now that I play NCAA, they do that all the time in like the animations after a play. So
Oh shit.
Have you seen Keel and Peele slap ass?
yes, so good.
Slap ass.
Slap ass.
All right. The story goes as this. This happened a few hours ago. I'm a 29 female who works as a general practitioner. Earlier today, I have a patient, 56 male, complaining of difficulty urinating. So, as his primary care physician, I am obliged to perform proper history and physical exam. For context, if you're not in the medical field, difficulty in urinating is one of the signs and symptoms of benign prostatic enlargement, which is usually seen in men above 50s. So, it is routine to perform digital rectal exam / prostate exam to check if it's causing an obstruction in the urethra. That sounds painful.
And you got to be awake for that?
Ooh, I wouldn't want to. So, I did the routine physical exam, asked for his consent to perform the said procedure, and proceeded to do the rectal exam, where in fact, his prostate is bigger than the usual size. After the exam, I asked him to put his pants back on and sit at the chair so that I can explain the next steps. As I explained this, my brain shut off and my reflexes kicked in. I smacked my patient's behind as he stood up to wear his pants.
Why was that your reflex?
We both froze. I said, "My apologies," and he just joked, "You don't know how to properly spank an ass."
Oh God! I think that might be the worst response you can get.
Oh.
This sounds like a scene where what I want. Spank it harder, baby. Let me show you.
The beginning of the smut we read.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
Spank Ass, featuring Josh and Sean. Oh, damn. That would not be my first reaction. I would not spank someone's ass as a reflex.
I'm just like, how often do you do this in
I
your
was like, do you
personal
do this
life?
with
That's
all
your
your
go-to.
patients, actually?
I can just imagine that fucking stares like, oh shit.
I just lost my license.
I'm so sorry.
Oh man, I think I would file a report on the guy just because it's like, you can't spank an ass properly.
That is an insane thing to say back to her.
I mean, what? I mean, you can't do it. I mean, at that
You can't.
point,
It's pro bono at this point, right?
you smacked his ass. And that's,
You're right. It's an eye for an
Yeah.
eye. Creep for a
yeah,
creep.
you deserve it after that.
This one again, cross posted by the GOAT. Mary Gets 2011. This one is new. I don't think I've used this. I don't know if you guys used it in the past, but the subreddit is Boomers Being Fools.
Sounds familiar.
I feel like we've
But I
used a
could be wrong.
boomer one, but I don't think that one.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
We got two boomers in this episode, but this one's a little funnier. It's not as bad as the other one. The title
I thought he
is
was calling us boomers for a second.
Yeah, I was like,
took me a
wait
bit.
a fucking
It's like, what the
second.
fuck?
You're older than
Boomer
both of us.
story.
motherfucker.
Damn, hold up. Hold up. Why say fuck me for? I'm just trying to tell y'all we had two boomers in the story.
Right,
Or in
right.
this episode.
Josh,
God
edit that
damn.
out. We didn't say anything.
Oh,
No,
no,
we
no,
didn't-
no,
yeah,
keep it,
just
leave it,
watch-
leave it, leave it. That shit's funny as hell.
We'll just leave it when John's freaking out of
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. The title is Boomer Furious. I didn't correct him misgendering my baby.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
It goes as this. I was at the supermarket finishing up my groceries when this old man approached my baby. She was kicking like crazy and lifting her foot to try to chomp at it. Now, here's the thing. Her stroller cover is yellow with giraffes on it, and she was wearing a light green onesie. This man comes up and say, "Hey there, big boy. Are you going to be a soccer player?" I think he will. Look at him kicking. Are you a Madrid's fan? And kept going about the Madrid soccer team. I just smiled and went my way. On another hall, I didn't realize he was behind me and I was talking to my baby, calling her by her name. He came to me and tapped to my shoulder. "She's a girl?" "Yes." "Why didn't you say something?" Now, I was going to say, it doesn't matter. They all look the same this age. She's just happy with people engaging and talking to her. Plus, she can be a soccer player too. But I only got to say, doesn't matter. And he started screaming at me.
Oh, no.
Oh my
I thought
God.
this was going to be like a wholesome thing where, like, you got to stand up for your baby. You got to. No, it's an actual shitty boomer. Damn.
Yeah, just a
I thought
piece
we were
of
ending
shit.
on a good boomer.
we're going or ending on nowhere. We're going to roast the boomer.
Yeah.
Then this is kind of what the boomer said. "This is the problem with you radical leftists. You should be ashamed of yourself. She doesn't even have earrings. How can people know she's a girl? You and your people want to create an army of trans people? Question mark, question mark, question mark. To destroy traditional families?"
Sounds like a Real Madrid fan.
At this point, I already started walking away and not engaging because I've learned that from you folks. He still said something about someone needing to call social services on me.
Jesus, dude.
When I was paying, the cashier asked what the fuck was going on, and I explained. She said she and her manager are pissed because this guy already yelled at other customers the other day, a group of teenagers. What a sad existence going out to yell at strangers. Editing to add, and the best part, I forgot, he also yelled when I was leaving, "Girls should wear pink at all times." Like, what the fuck, my dude?
Oh, fuck.
What the hell? Pink's a girl color.
Giraffes and green are only for men.
Yeah. It's a crazy
Can't you see how this is confusing? I gotta say, if this ever happened to me, the way I would be like those. Have you seen those TikToks where it's like the dudes find like To Catch a Predator 2024?
Yo, just slap him.
This guy is here to meet a 12-year-old boy. This guy is here to meet a 12-year-old boy.
Yo, he'd be slapping the shit out of them too, though.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Dude, I love it.
Oh, man.
Batman justice is the right way. I don't know how many times I have to say.
Honestly.
Choose violence
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what else there's he's never going to change his mind.
No.
So it doesn't really matter. It's also hilarious that he got so angry at you when you're just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. She doesn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's not going to say anything. She doesn't care because it's a baby who no
It's
one
a
cares.
baby.
And so it's insane to get that upset about you misgendering someone when
Yeah.
it doesn't
The
really
way I
matter.
thought it was going to be
in this
like a
scenario.
cute story where there was like,
No.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You see where I was thinking.
I see. I
You see
understand
the vision,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just not that, unfortunately.
It's never that.
All right. Well, we're capping off the main episode by the return of Fuck, Marry, Yeet.
Yeet.
We got 3 dates. You know what we're gonna do? Introduce the first date. First one, and I feel like we're all gonna unanimously agree that this person is a Yeet.
Greg Abbott.
Jake Paul.
Oh. Okay. Is there a theme to this one?
It seems like streamers. and
Oh,
YouTube personalities is the
there-
theme.
I was
For
gonna
this
say I
one.
don't know if he's a streamer.
There could
but-
be worse internet personalities, to be honest.
Internet personality is the perfect word for
He's,
it. Sean.
he's
There it is.
terrible. I
Yeah.
do not like Jake Paul, but there are some real bad ones.
Yeah, there's some real pieces of shit out
In,
there.
in this list, he's probably the worst. I'll tell you that. All right. So date number 1, Jake Paul. Although he will beat my ass though, not gonna lie. Originally began posting videos on Vine before landing a role on the Disney Channel show Bizarre-vark.
Man, that was past my Disney Channel era.
Ooh,
I've never heard Bizarre Yark.
Bizarre-vark? I don't even
Bizarre
know how to
Vark?
pro-
What the
I don't know how
fuck
to
is
pronounce
that?
it.
I've also never heard
What
of it.
Bizarre Vark? We're old,
like
I
a-
guess.
Is it like a
Yeah.
Arthur on shrooms or some shit?
Bizarre Vark. What the fuck?
I'm probably pronouncing this shit wrong.
I
But
guess the last thing I knew was like the absolute last show, I think is probably like, what is it? Good Luck Charlie?
bro, Sweet
That's
Life
the
was like
last
the
one?
last
I feel like
shit
that's the
I've
last
seen.
one. And that was like,
Oh,
I already
shit.
phased out. I wasn't watching it.
Yeah.
When I was zoned in, was probably like Wizards of Waverly Place.
Hannah
Damn.
Montana.
Sweet Life. That was
Sweet
like my
Life,
era.
not even the ship. They were still in the hotel.
They were
last
still in
time.
the hotel.
I got the ship.
I got a little
I got
bit of
the
the
ship.
ship. I got a little bit of the
Ah,
ship. Good Luck
I've seen
Charlie.
the
I got a
ending,
little
though.
bit of that. Actually, I know there's like another one with like what's the one with like the rich kids in a mansion or in like a penthouse? My nieces and nephews watch that one. I don't know.
You're asking the wrong two people.
It's like a babysitter or a nanny. I don't know. Fuck it. Move on.
Okay.
Move on.
My cable ran out, so I stopped watching. So,
Yeah.
Jake Paul launched his YouTube channel in 2014, and by 2017, Forbes dubbed him one of the highest paid YouTube creators. I wish we were that.
That'd be
Paid.
sick.
We're so far
That
off.
would be
So-
sick.
Infamously claimed he married fellow content creator Tana.
Tana
Tom-
Mogi, Mogi?
Sure,
Yikes.
however you pronounce that.
She actually,
Rest
that's a
rest
controversial.
in peace, Cody Ko.
Yeah, that guy dead.
Toast.
Wait, what? Someone died?
No.
No.
Oh,
His
mean-
career is over.
Yeah, he's a PDF file.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, obviously I don't watch any of these people. So currently has 20.7 million subscribers, has a boxing career, and like you guys kind of alluded to, slew of controversies. So that's
Yeah.
Jake Paul. The second date, and I can know how to pronounce him now. It's PewDiePie.
PewDiePie.
I said PewDiePie
Also
last
controversial.
time.
Yeah, I've never seen anything of him.
You haven't seen the N-word clip?
Holy moly. No.
Well,
All right.
born
Might
Felix.
eat him, actually.
Well, I don't know if Jake's better, but it's he definitely has his own
I
controversy.
feel like Jake also probably says it with a hard R.
Oh, I can
imagine.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I can guess.
Born Felix Arvid Ulf Kjellberg, PewDiePie stepped out one of Sweden's most famous YouTubers. PewDiePie's YouTube channel was registered in 2010, and according to online resources, today he has 111 million subscribers. God damn, we're so far. Early videos from PewDiePie were primarily Let's Play based, which for those who don't know the reference, it means a video or screenshots documenting the playthrough of a video game, often including commentary and or camera view of the gamer's face. Kjellberg appeared at the top of Forbes' October 2015 list of the richest YouTube stars with a reported $12 million earned in 2015. Since launching into the online world, PewDiePie has made a cameo on Epic Rap Battles of History. I loved Epic Battles of History.
A reference John knows.
That's all I know. I'm like, oh my God, if I actually know that.
I didn't watch
Guess it
those.
on the Cold Ones YouTube channel and more. And yeah, last one, Mr. Beast. Born
Man, I hate all
James-
these guys, I think.
You hate Mr. Beast?
I
That's
don't
not bad.
I feel like he does nothing bad, but just something about it feels like it rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what
He
it is.
has a very big ego.
Mm.
And I mean, if you were as rich as him, I guess I would too. But
Yeah.
as
I'm a-
far as controversial goes,
I'm
I
a
feel
douchebag
he's-
now and I'm not rich.
I feel he's low on
I
the
mean,
list.
for sure, out of these three, he's probably going to survive. But yeah, something about him, I'm like, something can't be right.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Yeah.
My spidey
I mean,
senses
listen,
go
I
off.
wouldn't be surprised if something came out in a few years. But as far as we know now, he's
Yeah, he's fine.
all right.
Okay.
Yeah, he does good things.
Yeah. Born James Stephen Donaldson, Mr. Beast began his YouTube career in early 2012, where he, similarly to PewDiePie, would post a range of Let's Play videos to videos where he would guess the wealth of other content creators on the site. Imagine if he guessed ours. He'd be like, he'll laugh. Once his channel took off, Donaldson hired some of his childhood friends to co-run the brand. He has ranked on the Forbes list for the highest paid YouTube creator in 2022 and has an estimated net worth of $500 million.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast has an estimated 400 million subscribers and has since launched his own app, a virtual restaurant, Feastables, chocolates, among other business ventures. So, who would you fuck? Who would you marry? Who would you eat between Jake Paul, PewDiePie, and Mr. Beast?
All right. Just before we start, one of my favorite pieces of content with Mr. Beast is when he gets with Keith Lee to try the chocolate bars, and Keith Lee is like, these are mid. And he gets so, you can see on camera, he's trying so hard not to be incredibly pissed. He is just so mad, and he's trying his best.
I got it. I try it. We're going to rate it 1 to 10.
You know, I'm going to tell the truth. This shit is trash.
I mean, respect for him for putting that out, though. Letting him being like, yeah, put it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and I mean, he's got some.
He's definitely done some good
takes.
things. He's given people eyesight back. He's, given millions away.
I've seen him clean the ocean or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's cleaned tons of trash out of the ocean. So truly, the net value, it's not like he's not getting paid for it. I mean, because he makes content out of it. But the net value of what he does is much better than Jake Paul. Or
even if it's
PewDiePie.
performative, it's at least making some sort of good impact.
Yeah.
Well, and he has a friend who transitioned actually over the past few years, and I don't remember exactly when, but it's been a big controversy with quote unquote fans, and I'll say Mr. Beast has stood up for this friend.
Hell yeah.
Oh, good.
Many times. So
he's probably a way better person than I'm giving him credit for. It's just something.
Yeah.
Sean got the ick.
But that's fair. I mean, listen, he's a multi-millionaire, so
who cares?
There's
What
always
I
a little
think,
bit like, but so are all these guys, so it doesn't really matter.
All right, I'm gonna just go real quick. I'm marrying Beast. Honestly, don't know enough about PewDiePie or Jake Paul. So I'm just, who's the more attractive guy? I'm probably gonna fuck Jake Paul, if we're gonna be honest, and I'll kill PewDiePie. No one says the fucking N-word and just gets away with it.
Listen, Jake Paul openly supports Trump, so I don't know. He's right
That's
there
true.
too.
Where does PewDiePie?
I might-
Well, he's foreign, so I guess he's not big on American
He's
politics.
Swedish, yeah, and I think he lives in Japan now.
He
Anyway,
retired
am I
or
gonna
something
fuck
in
him?
Japan,
You know what I
right?
mean?
maybe.
Am I gonna
Swedish
fuck this
fish,
guy?
Sean.
I think just for my morality, I just got to switch those two. I think PewDiePie is grown as a person, so
That's
I'm
fair.
gonna go with him.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then Yeet Jake Paul.
I'm gonna go marrying Mr. Beast just because
$500 million.
net worth is crazy. I'll be in one of your videos. I'll try to survive for a fucking weekend or some shit.
Yeah, put me in a room for however many days.
I don't know anything about PewDiePie, so I guess I'll eat him. I don't know him at all. The only reason why I'd say I'd fuck Jake Paul, as much as I also don't like Logan Paul, he's a wrestler, and hopefully I can get free tickets to go to a WrestleMania. So I'm family now, bitch.
I respect it.
Awesome. Well, that is it for this episode. But before we cap it off, boys, anything y'all want to bring up?
I've got a couple donos here. I'll start off with this one from Leah,
Ooh.
who actually sent one last time as well.
Shout out
Shout
Leah
out
from
Leah.
Love Island USA.
Oh
Low-key one of the goats of this season.
I
Now
don't think that's
you're
who this
sending
is, but-
3 home. Yeah, that's definitely not who it is. But Leah, loved your work.
They send $15.76, and they say, "Hi, gents, longtime listener. By the way, if you're looking for more positive stories, I sometimes share funny stories from Tumblr on the Reddit. My username is Masterful Trousers.
Ooh, Tumblr. Good memories.
Oh,
I also like that username. Yeah, Masterful.
you can only imagine.
And the other one comes from Plethora Media Group.
Ooh.
And they donate $100.
Hey,
Oh,
yo.
a plethora
So shout
of
out to
dollars.
Plethora Media Group.
Oh, Sean, look
Plethora,
at you. I'm proud.
I thank you.
Uh,
You're welcome.
So shout out for you guys for the donation. We appreciate that. And then we got actually, I always forget we have a contact, whatever.
Oh yeah, contact form.
Contact form on our website.
Yes.
And we had one come in that I thought was interesting for John anyway.
Okay.
So Nathan writes in and says, so I discovered your podcast earlier this year and have been working my way through the back catalog. I love your show. Quick question though, John. Where in the Philippines are you from? I used to live in Cebu for several years. And every time you talk about lumpia,
Lumpia. Yeah.
Or any other Filipino food, I get massive cravings. So, John, where in the Philippines are you from? If you don't mind
Oh,
asking?
yes. I'm more than happy to answer that. I am from Pampanga. So shout out to all my Kapampangans that listen to this. I'm from there.
Nice. Do you go back lots?
Last time I went was 2 years ago.
I'm from Pearland,
yeah, so-
Texas, if you are wondering.
Where are you from? Where's your family from in the Philippines, Sean?
Solid question. Both Manila.
Okay, so
But the neighborhoods in Manila. If I'm not on the spot, I could probably answer you, to be honest. Because,
are you from like Quezon City, Makati? No?
No.
Okay, I tried.
Pearland, Texas.
Pearland, Texas.
Pearland,
baby.
Texas, baby.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Nathan, for sending that in.
Hey, Nathan, comment back. If you're listening to this video, what's your favorite Filipino food?
Ooh, there we go. That could be the call to action.
Yeah,
today.
everybody.
I don't
List
think
your
a lot-
favorite Filipino food.
Yeah,
It's
let
going
us
to be
know.
all adobo or all lumpia.
lumpia or pancit. Maybe it's gonna go there.
Pancit
too.
is a common one, too.
Anything else?
Oh.
Sean?
That's what I got.
I did not do it this week. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'll see you next week, all you Venmo people.
All right. Well, that is it for the episode this week. Ladies and gentlemen, please do us a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us, do anything. And also want to thank all the Wikimaniacs for giving us that K on Instagram. We finally have 10,000
Oh, yeah.
followers on
Oh.
Instagram. So shout out to all the Wikimaniacs following there. Appreciate y'all for the support. And we're going to say this on the next episode, but your boys are turning 3. So thank you all for
Right.
sticking around with us. And we'll see you this Friday for another Am I the Asshole episode. So
Or Wednesday live stream
if you're a patron.
if you're a
Or
patron.
YouTube member.
Or a YouTube member.
Yeah. Let's get
Bye.
it. So bye, guys.
Get therapy.